Hi, my name is Jennifer McMurrain, and I am the Public Relations Manager for the Oklahoma Writers Federation Incorporated. Today, I'm going to show you how to enter our annual contest. Our contest has a total of 34 categories. So the first thing we're going to want to do is find a list of those categories, their descriptions, and what you need in order to enter those categories. If you go to our webpage, www.owfi.org, you'll see our menu bar at the top. Go over to Contest and click directly on Contest. This will bring up a full list of all 34 categories, their descriptions, and what you need in order to enter those categories. Categories 1 through 30 are all unpublished manuscripts. There is only one exception to this rule, and that is number 8, our blog category. These blogs can have been published online, but we do ask that you remove all active links before submitting them. If we scroll on down, you'll see our published categories. We have Best Juvenile Book, Best Nonfiction Book, Best Book of Poetry, and Best Book of Fiction. These books must have a copyright date of 2014. We accept ebooks, self-published books, and traditionally published books at any length. Before you get too invested in your categories, we do ask that you take a minute to go over and read our rules and regulations. Just go back up to the top, over to Contests, go on down to Rules and Regulations, and click. Here you will see a full list of all of our rules and regulations. Now what you see on your screen and what you're seeing in this video may differ just a little bit. We found a few places we needed to tweak and they're being worked on as we speak. But as long as you follow the guidelines in this video, you'll be golden. So I'm going to go back over to our contest categories. Now I'm not going to show you every step you need to get your manuscript ready, but I did want to show you a few examples. We're going to start off with a manuscript example, and I'm going to start with historical novel fiction. So I read my description, so I know what the judge is going to look for, but I also need to pay close attention to the last few sentences of each paragraph. These last couple sentences are going to tell you what you need in order to meet the requirements. So here I see that I need to submit the first consecutive chapters, including a prologue, if I have one, and a synopsis, and that my complete submission is limited to 25 pages or less. Because everything is online this year and everything is electronic, you have to enter everything at once. So, in order to remain organized, I highly recommend that you create a folder that has all of your OWFI contest entries in it. This way you're not trying to search through dozens and dozens of manuscripts trying to find the specific one that you want. So here's my folder. I open it up and you can see the 3 things that I'm planning on entering into the contest. Now a little bit of a disclaimer. These 3 manuscripts have been entered before into the contest. They have either won or been published since, so they are no longer eligible and are only being used for the sole purpose of this workshop. So back to the historical novel, that would be Return to Quail Crossings. I'm going to open that up. Now each one of our manuscripts requires a header on the very first page in the right hand corner. We require that you have the category number at the very top, and then the second line will vary just a little bit. If you're doing poetry, we ask for lines of poetry. If you're doing an article, short story, or essay, we ask for a word count. And if you're doing a novel manuscript, then we ask for a page count. And this will all be specified on this category page at the very last there, you'll see. Okay, so I know that I can only enter 25 pages, so I have let the judge know that 24 pages of this is a manuscript and there's a 1-page synopsis. Therefore, I have my 25 pages and have met the requirements. Now, on every page after the first page, we also require a header of the title and a page number. This just helps our judge stay organized. You need to make sure that your manuscripts are all double-spaced with a 12-point font. We do recommend Times New Roman. We do not accept any fancy fonts, except for anything that you may have italicized. So please try to keep it in Times New Roman or Courier. Okay, so I have my headers. I'm double spaced. I don't have any fancy fonts and it's 12, but there's still something wrong with this manuscript. If I go back to my rules and regulations that I've of course read before, I will see that all manuscripts need to be in a DOC format. Go back to my manuscript, it's in a DOCX format. Now, if you have a newer version of Word, your manuscripts are automatically going to save in a DOCX format unless you've told them to do something else. So it's very easy to fix. It may differ on your computer if you're using a different version of Word or a different software altogether, but it's pretty much the same. We're just going to save it as. So go to File, Save As, pick your folder with your contest entries, and here you see Return to Quail Crossings, Category 26. Now, it's not required that you put the category in the title, but I do highly recommend that you do so. It'll make it easier on the contest chairs and your judge. But we need to change this DOCX, so we just click right here on Word document right by the Save As type. Go down to our DOC, which is our required format. Click that and save. Now, if we go up to the top, we see that we have Return to Quail Crossings, Category 26.doc. That's exactly what we need. So this manuscript is ready to go. So now I want to show you one of the short story categories, juvenile fiction. Now, this specific category actually has categories within the category. So after I read the description of what the judge is going to be looking for, I see that I have two age groups. I have readers from 7 to 9, where I have a 600 word limit, and then I have readers 8 to 12, where I have a 1,000 word limit. So right here it says that I must put the age range with the word count in my header. So as I go over here, I pick up the manuscript that fits that category, Snails with Ketchup, and you can see up here in my header, I have category 13, and then I'm specifying that this is for readers 8 to 12. Now, if I didn't specify that it was for readers 8 to 12, and my judge assumed that it was for readers 7 to 9, then I am automatically disqualified because I have gone over the 600 word count. So it's very important that you follow the directions and you put the age group or whatever else is asked for you in the header. So I've got my category, I've got my age group, and I've got my words. On my following pages, I have my titles and my page numbers. Everything is double-spaced, 12-point font in a very readable font. So now I look up here, I see that it's saved as a DOC, which is the format that we need. This document is ready to go. There's one final document that I'd like to show you before we go on to the actual submission process, and that is one of the published books. So if I go back over here to my folder and open Winter Song, which is a published book. Now, this is going to vary for people. I own my own small press called Lily Bear, so I have access to the Word document. If a person has published through a traditional publisher, they may not have access to the Word document. That is why, if you go over to our rules and regulations, you will see that when it comes to the published book category, we are asking for them to be submitted in a PDF, MOBI, or an EPUB format. Just about everybody has one of those three formats, whether they've published independently or traditionally. Also, you still have the option of sending in a printable book, and we will go a printed book, I should say, and we will go over that process when we go through the submission process. I do recommend that you try to enter your book electronically. It just saves you overhead. It saves you the cost of the book because that book will not be returned, and it saves you postage. If you do want to go ahead and mail a print book to the contest chairs, you can do that. Just make sure that it's postmarked by February 1st. Okay, so as an independent publisher, as I am, I had access to the document, and now I need to change it to a PDF so that it meets the requirements for the contest. Again, it's the same process we did as when we saved it as a DOC. So save as, in my little contest folder, save as type, PDF, save. It will take it a couple of minutes to convert this. Now, on most people's computers, the PDF version is going to pop right up on top of your manuscript. I'm using my husband's computer, and he doesn't have it set up that way, but I will show you. It is right there. A PDF is just a read-only format. This is going to cause your book to stay in its correct formatted version and making it very easy for the judge to read, and a PDF can be uploaded to most e-readers, which is another reason why we do that. So that is also ready to go. Now all 3 of my manuscripts are ready to go. So we can start the entry process. You're going to go up to contest and submit your entry. Now, for the purposes of this workshop, I am going to open the test. It looks exactly the same as when you submit. It's just going to save me a little bit of money. All right. So from here on out, it's a very simple process. We do ask that you read all of this information here. You do need to be a member. So now we're just going to fill out the form. Now this is the same thing that we've done in past years, just electronic. If you don't have an affiliation, if you don't have a club that you're a member of, type in member at large there. Just make sure all your information is in there. Being that this is a workshop on, on the interweb, that is not my correct address or my correct phone number. And then you want to fill out this CAPTCHA code. And this CAPTCHA code just proves you're not a robot. We don't want any robots to enter. So this is basically our cover sheet right here. We used to fill out the cover sheet with the payment. All right, so now we've been redirected to PayPal. Now I know a lot of people get really scared when they have to transfer money online. It can be a scary thing. We hear a lot in the news about people have gotten their money stolen from using debit and credit cards and whatnot. But I can tell you from experience that PayPal is a really great place to transfer your money online. I've been using them for over a decade. I have never had any problems with them. Their whole business is to keep your money safe while you're transferring funds online. So I highly recommend it. If you don't have a PayPal account, that's okay. Just click Pay with a debit card or credit card. And it's going to bring up all this information that you're going to need to fill out. This is for a debit or prepaid gift card. If you're going to use a credit card, then just click over there. It's all pretty much the same. Now, again, because I have a small press, that is my business. And when I pay fees for something like the OWFI contest or conference, I pay it out of my business account, which says Lily Bear. It does not say my name. So in order to help our poor treasurer out, please make sure that if you're using a business account, that you leave her a little note letting her know who that business account belongs to. This was a huge problem last year with everybody paying on PayPal. She would get, and I was a prime example of this, she got a payment from Lily Bear House, but she had no idea who owned Lily Bear House, so she didn't know who had actually paid. So we got that all settled, and so please make sure that you list who all you're paying for. You can add as many names there as you need to. Okay, I do have a PayPal account, and I assume most of you do. So I'm going to click that. Again, you'll see, there's my email. It doesn't even have my name on it. So our poor treasurer has no idea who Lily Bear House is. I'm going to sign in here. And they're going to have all of my information already because like I said, I've been dealing with them for about 10 years now. I'm going to add a note here so our treasurer knows who I am. This just saves a big headache later, and it saves you from getting an email going, hey, you entered the contest, but I don't see where you paid. They have my bank information already. I'm just going to pay with that. I can use a credit card if I want to. I don't want to. So I'm just going to hit pay now. And there we go. I have paid. Now you want to print this receipt. This is your receipt. This right here is your receipt. Always print your receipt. If for some reason you don't see this link, then go over to File and hit Print. Always, always print your receipt. If there is some problem in your submission process, showing your receipt to our contest chair is going to allow you to be able to fix things without repaying. So it's very important that you print this receipt or snapshot it or something, but save this receipt. Okay, I'm going to return to the Oklahoma Writers Federation Incorporated. It's going to take me to this little page. It will redirect me, but if I can't wait that long, I just have to click there. As you can see, it's very fast. And now I'm ready to enter the contest. Now these little things here, they're the same tabs that we used to fill out on paper. They're asking for the exact same thing. Please make sure to give us the phonetic spelling of your name so when you win an award, we can pronounce your name right. If you don't know the phonetic spelling of your name, you can Google it. It will come up with something very quickly for you. Oop, that's not the right email. There we go. And again, make sure to put your affiliation. Again, if you don't have an affiliated group, put members at large. And now we're going to enter the contest. Again, please read all of the little stuff there. It's basically things that I've already told you, but just to be on the safe side. Now, I also suggest that you have like a paper list beside you, so when you're doing this, you can keep everything nice and organized. So category, we're going to start with juvenile fiction, which is my Snails with Ketchup. I'm going to hit browse. This time it took me directly to the folder that I needed, but if it didn't, you just have to find the folder, which is usually going to be on your desktop. That's the easiest place to find it. And I'm going to select Snails with Ketchup because that's the one I'm looking for juvenile. And then I'm going to go do my historical. Scroll down, there's historical novel. Browse, it's going to take me back to that one. I'm going to remember that I need the DOC for this one, not the DOCX, and I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to enter my book of fiction. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, browse, and again, make sure you're entering the right format. For a published book, you need the PDF, MOBI, or EPUB. So here's my PDF. All right, I'm just going to scroll on down. Now, I mentioned before that if you want to send a hard copy of your book for the published book categories, that is category 31 through 34 only, you can do so. And here's how you do it. Let's say that I have a nonfiction book. I'll select nonfiction, and I'm going to kind of make note that I'm going to contact Maria. This information will be in a different place too. You're going to print out a form. So I'm just going to select that I have nonfiction book that I'm going to physically send Maria. So again, scroll on up here. I've got all 3 of my stories that I want to submit. I've browsed and I've selected them so they're ready to go. My nonfiction book that I'm going to physically send to Maria, I've got that selected. That way our contest chair knows that it's been paid for because it's with everything else. And again, I'm going to enter the CAPTCHA code so the system doesn't think I'm a robot. And submit. Very easy. Just give it a second. Scroll up. You should see, thank you, your submission has been successfully received. If you do not see that, then you need to let our contest chair know immediately so that they can give you further instructions. Okay, so since I selected that I'm going to send my nonfiction book in a hardback form, there is I have to do another little step here. I'm going to download this form. And this form should look very familiar to anybody that has entered our contest before. We've used it many times, but basically I will print this form out, and then because it's the nonfiction book, I'm going to send it to Maria, and here's her address. So I'm going to send this whole cover sheet with the book to Maria, and she will get it to the judge for me. Make sure that that book is postmarked by February the 1st. Okay, that's it. You're entered. Now all you need to do is go and register for our lovely conference. That's going to be the first weekend in May. And just enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.